miss you guys.
Totino's Pizza Rolls
on Xbox. So choose the games you want to play. There are worlds to be saved, heroes to be made, and legends to become. Together. Thanks, and have a great Easter.
Red Dead Redemption.
In 2077, they voted my city the worst place to live in America. Main issues, sky-high rate of violence, and more people living below the poverty line than anywhere else. Can't deny it, it's all true. But everybody still wants to live here. This city's always got a promise for you. Might be a lie, an illusion. But it's there, just around the corner. And it keeps you going. It's a city of dreams. And I'm a big dreamer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to E3 on Twitch. We are live from downtown Los Angeles. We just saw the Microsoft press conference. We just saw the ending trailer, which is possibly already my game of the show, Cyberpunk 2077. But Microsoft's over. I want to throw it to you. Start with you, Anna. What was the thing for Microsoft? And for you? For you.
Well, I want to start.
Or
maybe.
what do you want to talk about?
I want to start with. I mean, like overall, looking at the conference, we were like, what are they going to do? Are they going to give us the games? Are they going to lean into hardware? Games. Boom, 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 boom. Just games. Very, very feeling like almost Sony last year, where they were like, we're just showing you the games, which is a commentary in and of itself. Like, are they just following in Sony's footsteps? Who knows? But they gave us the games. I mean, all of us are looking at our watch being like, okay, how many minutes do we have? Because there are so many things to talk about. And that's another good reason why moving their conference to today as opposed to trying to be in the hubbub of tomorrow is probably good, because it gives us a lot of time to absorb and talk about everything they just told us.
I agree. And you're right. We talked about it. This needed to be a games conference for Microsoft, and I think hands down, it was a games conference for Microsoft. So, Zeke, what do you want to talk about from that list? There were over 50 games talked about. 18 of them were exclusive. 15 of them world premieres.
Yep.
What's hot on your list, Zeke?
So much stuff. I had to circle it because we don't have much time. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah.
That thing that
From
everybody looked
Software.
at and was like, what the hell is this from last time? And now we finally have a name, and it looks badass.
It looks amazing.
Great. I'm so excited for that.
Movement, too. Like a lot of movement that we don't necessarily see in some of their other games.
Oh, I love it. Cuphead, new Cuphead stuff.
You were so
I'm like,
excited
I
about
was.
that.
I actually got up. I was like, Cuphead, I love you. Yeah, I hope I'm not alone in that. I'm sure there's some people who
you
love
are not.
Cuphead.
Definitely.
I love the style and the music, and I want more content, and I'm glad to have it. Battletoads. Oh my God, that was a game that frustrated me for years.
That was
growing
like
up.
my favorite but least favorite announcement, because it's like, yeah, Battletoads, yeah, we got nothing, right?
Right, yeah,
nothing at all.
You
so.
you get a little teaser, but that's about. And of course, CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk 2077.
Unbelievable.
I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they did the whole Columbo, like, just one more thing before we go.
Well, they didn't even do that, right? They did it in spirit, but they did the whole like, someone's hacked our street, but appropriate for the title, right?
Yeah, sure.
Dude, Marcus gets a certain look when he's just committed to a hype. Like, no one's going to convince him different. Nothing is going to change what he thinks. He came in and he was like, this is the game of the year. This is
game
we're
of the
what-
show.
Game of the show. What do we know about the gameplay, Marcus? It doesn't matter. It's the
CD Projekt Red, you know, I mentioned Witcher, but like what I love about it is you think about Witcher, you had magic, you had a sword, but they like put you in thousands of different situations. Sometimes you weren't fighting at all, sometimes it was a story. I love Cyberpunk. The world that it appears that they have created looks amazing, and I don't know that a video game has ever really, outside like maybe a Shadowrun game, has ever truly captured what Cyberpunk is, and that game seems to do it. And yes, obviously you're not going to convince me, and I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. The imagery in that game is so perfectly, interestingly disturbing. All of it.
Yes.
I mean,
that's what it's supposed to be.
it
And the
feels,
cinematic shots
The
they
mouthless,
use are so different from
cyborg,
games.
Putting on the makeup, and
Yeah.
then you see, you
that
know
was
what?
a
She's
trip.
probably going to put the rest of her face on. You know, like that's.
Well, and
That's
the
what I do at
violence-
home. That's not relatable to you?
Yeah.
Well, and the violence in this world is so interesting because it's so not the kind of violence that we see in our world, and yet somehow they make it very disturbing. I mean, like the guy on the plane, remember? All of us
Yeah.
were like, whoa, you know what I mean?
And you're
Like,
just sipping your martini and
Yeah.
somebody's face is exploding
Yeah,
as
you
it's
know?
over.
Yes.
So very interesting. Like, it's interesting that they can put me so deeply in this world so quickly and have me believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't. All right. There's a lot of other games. I'm so excited for that. So excited.
Starting at the top, like, was anybody else weirded out that like Bethesda has their own conference and they just showed up at the beginning of the Microsoft conference?
With their
Makes me
biggest
think
payload?
They've
Yeah.
got an even bigger payload to deliver tonight, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes it. Yeah,
Or
it makes
just-
me more hype for the Bethesda thing. So I think it was smart.
I mean, or is Xbox just kind of taking some of these big pieces of thunder? Because
To
I mean,
make, yeah.
like who knows? Maybe
Do they have that authority?
I don't know. I have no idea how those things work with the
have
Illuminati.
that authority?
I
Can they
don't
just
know.
take that?
They're
Like-
Microsoft. They can do whatever they want.
One game that really, really stood out to me from Bandai Namco, which was Jump Force. It was so interesting because at first I thought I wasn't looking at the game. I kind of expected them to go into that traditional animation style that we've seen in a lot of the games as of late, but it is this new 3D style, and it's a mashup of all these Shonen Jump titles and other titles. Super interested in that.
Kelly Link backstage was watching that and just stood up out of her chair. You know, she was like this close to the TV. She was all ready for that one.
And then she turned away and she missed the teaser at the end, which is, was it Yagami and Ryuk from Death
Yeah,
Note?
that's
Just
right,
sitting
yeah,
there.
yes,
I can't wait to see
yeah.
how that gameplay gets incorporated.
I just have to mention it because the meme of the show so far has kind of been Skate 4, right? Like everyone is like Skate 4, Skate 4.
Yep.
Well, EA didn't deliver, but Microsoft did with Session. Just Session, period.
Yep.
And that's it. I know a lot of folks are going to be really happy that we got a skateboarding game. But Devil May Cry 5 was the other
Just
one.
speaking of Session, real quick, shout out to my boy Jericho for the Skate 4 more like Bait 4 tweet. That was good. That was real clever. Tip of the hat for that.
and then Devil May Cry was definitely on my interested list because it seems like they're moving on with the franchise, but they are acknowledging and bringing DMC into it. So I don't know what that means. I'm curious about.
We were into some of those characters
The
in Devil May Cry.
sidekick.
Yeah, we were like, who is she? We must know everything about her. Can we cosplay her?
It's good.
Did she catch a cigarette out of the air
She
with her
did.
mouth?
She
She
did.
definitely
She
did.
did. She won my
She
heart with
definitely
that
did.
lip
Yeah.
catch. Marcus, can we talk about Captain Spirit?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
inside the Life is Strange universe,
Which is really cool that they're making that a universe now.
right?
Yeah.
As an Oregon girl, which is where Life is Strange takes place, I am
course
very
it does.
excited. Right? Life is strange in Oregon. But I'm excited that they're kind of building that storytelling universe out. I think they could do a lot with that for a long time. So I'm like, yes, I will welcome this franchise, if you will, into my heart.
Yeah.
And also free.
So
Right.
I know we only have a little bit of time before we start moving on to our general gaming coverage. Obviously, I think a lot of fans excited for Halo Infinite, the announcement of Gears, but we can hear from them. Why don't we shoot it over to Kadrian and let's find out if maybe we could poll folks and find out what their favorite Microsoft thing or something else. Kadrian, what's up?
Salutations, man. I'm back here at the E3 check-in stage, powered by Totino's Pizza Rolls. And I'm just going to hop right into it because I'm still hyped from all that. A lot of good things happened. I'm curious about what you guys think. So here are the options right now. So pay close attention, all right? The chat's moving pretty quickly right now. Pay attention, okay? We have, what are you more excited for from Microsoft? Cyberpunk 2077, Forza Horizon 4, no more noise, that was it, just that's it. Halo Infinite or Gears of War 5? This is your opportunity to vote. Let me chime in really quick and remind you. You guys can't vote over there, so you
I'm in chat voting right now.
Listen, let me just give you some spillage, okay? Listen, Forza Horizon 4 had gameplay footage, so you can kind of vote on that and get an idea of what you want to do with it. Halo Infinite, not so much, but it's Halo, so I can understand if you'd be hyped for that, which apparently you are right now. Cyberpunk 2077 is winning in a landslide.
That's right.
But it was all, listen, where's the love for Gears of War 5? They actually showed in-game footage. They showed actual stuff happening. And while I have a moment, let me give you a little on the side. I would imagine that the Venn diagram for people mad about Gears of War 5 having a lady lead, and anyone upset about Battlefield 5 having a lady lead, would probably make James Maynard Keenan blush because it's a perfect circle and everyone's a tool. So relax. It's no big deal. It's good stuff.
Games. Let's have fun.
Everyone's a tool.
Right. Just
Yeah, but you
relax.
missed the band references there.
We're closing the
cut.
poll
It was a deep
very,
cut.
very quickly. So if you have a last moment vote you want to do, make it now. But, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, it probably doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Even right now in chat,
Right.
I love Tekken 7 says mod. No, not an option. But thank you, Tekken 7. Thank you. Yeah, Cyberpunk, that
love
was
WAMP.
free. That was free.
That was free. For
Market's
sure.
new. But chat, thank you guys for participating. I knew I could count on you this time to pick the right game. I played Witcher 3. I'm a big fan of it. We have more stuff to discuss. All my fans out there, I see you, Mr. Scrubby Dubby, who just said lol. So thanks for your input.
Shout out.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Kadrian. See, Anna?
Yeah.
I mean, 70% of the world, basically, which is represented in that poll, agrees with me.
You don't hear me disagreeing with you. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying I know a particular look from Marcus DJ Wheat Graham, and that look happened.
We're sharing it. We're sharing it, internet. I'm with you. I'm so excited for that. I forgot about all the other games.
We owe this guy, Ori.
You owe me an apology.
I already tweeted. I already
did tweet.
Instagram story. I'll say it here live on air
That's
so
what I
people
want.
can clip it. Zeke, you were right and I was wrong.
Oh, I'm just gonna.
I was like,
I'm just gonna rub myself with that.
really
Oh,
wrong.
it feels so good.
In fact, James was the one who was like, you were thinking of Child of Light. And I was like,
Child of Light, yeah.
I'm
okay.
not even going to use that as an excuse. I was
I
wrong.
see the comparison, but yeah.
Well done.
There were a couple games like that where it was like I wasn't surprised to see them. I was excited about them. Nothing super new, like Kingdom Hearts 3
On
and,
Xbox.
Well, and that's the thing is what I mean is I was kind of like
She
I was
said
very
nothing exciting and nothing new, but I'm pretty sure Anna jumped out of her chair when she saw Elsa from Frozen.
Yeah.
Look,
Well,
I
that's
was-
not exciting or new, Marcus. Let's be real.
I was getting there. Okay, I like to set myself up.
Sorry.
Anyway, point is, two Anna favorites, Tomb Raider and Kingdom Hearts, in that conference. Wasn't super ready to see some of the things I saw. Was very excited about them. In the context of all of this hype, it feels like I'm down here like, also those, you know, like.
In all fairness, it's like if you took that off, we'd probably have a totally different. If you took Cyberpunk off, it'd probably be a totally different conversation. So, but
I mean, I just had to give them a shout out, you know.
Yes, of course.
There's
of
a lot to
course.
say. Tomb Raider we have coming up really soon, so I won't say much about that because we can talk about that.
I think best line of the conference though has to go to Crackdown 3 with Quack Quack.
Yeah, I'm excited for Crackdown 3, adding Terry Crews through the whole thing. Seems like it's great. And the other interesting thing, I don't know that we've ever really seen this at a press conference, but an emphasis on, hey, here's the studios that we are bringing under our wing. And
That was
this
cool.
isn't unusual. We have a lot of first-party consoles. Sony is in the same boat. Microsoft's had them as well. But to kind of give them the stage in the same way I thought was really cool. Those included The Initiative, Compulsion Games, Undead Labs, Playground Games, and then also Ninja Theory, recently Hellblade. I thought that was super awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, giving credit kind of and like pulling them out as the artists was really, really cool. And the response from the crowd was really neat too.
Yeah.
Just
The
the excitement.
recognition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a big bold move from Microsoft too, saying like, we own these. Get in here because this is the creative power we have.
Well, and speaking of bold moves from Microsoft, the one non-game thing they talked about was the fast start thing they're going to be incorporating in their games. We were talking about how we want more functionality. We want the games we have to work better, but they said this is going to involve machine learning. Let your games start up. I'm suspicious. Don't be checking on my computer, Microsoft.
I also, I don't know. I'm not excited to play anything over the cloud, you guys. Like, I think I'm going to speak for gamers, but like, I don't need to play console games on my phone.
I know one person who did it, Kelly Link, where she wanted to play a Sony game from her PlayStation. She bought the mobile PSP,
Yeah.
but that's not a typical
It's
gamer
interesting.
choice.
I see that coming
Sorry,
back,
Jen.
right? We went through this era about 5 years ago. It's like, oh, you're going to play everything from the cloud, and it didn't going to work out the way on live and all that. So it's interesting that narrative is being reintroduced again. So, well, guess what? Microsoft is over. Plenty to talk about. Obviously, the internet is abuzz with so many titles, but we have more coming up today. Not only do we spend the next 4 hours going over a lot of the titles that we've seen, or we might be seeing for the first time, but we've got Bethesda at 6:30 and Devolver at 8. So if you're ready, we're going to kick off our general gaming coverage, so don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. E3 on Twitch continues right here. We'll be right back.
She's home!
Nice. I missed you guys.
Totino's Pizza Rolls. She's home!
Nice. you guys.
Totino's Pizza Rolls.
I thought I knew why I came here. I saw it. The end. It was so vivid. But now the truth feels further away than ever. I still have so many questions.
You said you were going out, but I heard you through the wall. I said don't go far. You had me searching for a reason, but I was in the dark.
We can't let Trinity get hold of this.
Let's think this through. Do you realize the tragedy you have unleashed? The cleansing has begun. It falls to me now to stop it before it consumes us all.
What have I done?
But
What a shame you can't hear me. I speak Thought you could keep me in reserve.
I know that it's not practical. I know that it's hard to believe.
Could I hold myself back? Well, you fed me a fate, but I know the taste of life.
let's go.
You don't know that you caused all this, Laura!
You need to trust me.
We have to trust each other.
I speak
Nobody. Let's go.
He wants to alter the course of humanity. If you had that power, what would you do?
Welcome back to E3 on Twitch. I'm Anna Prosser Robinson, joined by my co-host, as always, Marcus, and our friends Rich and Daniel, here to talk to us about Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And I could not be more excited because I have so many questions for you guys.
I hope you're ready.
I am
We are here to answer
stoked.
them.
But
Most of them.
okay, I figured you can't answer all of them, but that's okay. But before I even dive in, what do you want us most to know from the trailer we just saw? What are you hoping fans are seeing and realizing about Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
That this is the story about obsession and temptation, and there's really a duality of what's happening, and that's why we see one side, one of the side, what would be, whatever it's vertical or horizontal, what is one choice and what would be the other one, and this is really what this game is about. It's about this temptation. What would you do with that kind of power?
And we really look at this as being Lara Croft's defining moment. She's been through so much, and she has to make choices along the way, especially in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, on her way to becoming the Tomb Raider she's meant to be. And that's why, as you saw in the trailer, as Dan was talking about, the two different ways that she could go, the two different, things that she could become. And we obviously want you to feel like Lara has got so much inner turmoil in this. And we want it to be an aspirational, pushing through that darkness as well. But in this trailer, we're trying to show you the variety of actions and the conflict and the turmoil that Lara has to go to become the Tomb Raider.
Does that translate into gameplay? Or, and maybe this is one of those things you can't answer, but...
It's not one of those things where we're saying, oh, the game is going to change depending on whether you go this way or not. This is a narrative choice that we're making. Yeah. So we want you, as you're playing, to be at times questioning Lara's motives. We want you to be looking at Jonah, who's with her, and saying, okay, he's sometimes a moral compass for her. It's not like, oh, the world's going to change based on this or that action. It's more about the narrative roller coaster that we're taking you on is going to be that inner conflict that she has to push through.
But the gameplay represents that in a certain way. It doesn't do the choice itself, but we're representing in gameplay the two types of Lara that you could find. And she has to make a choice which one she will be at the end. And that is why we're talking about this defining moment, because Tomb Raider means, preserving and protecting. And this is what really matters, at the end for Lara. But there's a path there where it could be something else. It could be about possessing and could be about, making things your own and being consumed by your obsession, by wanting things to be your way.
When you talk about that obsession, right, we've always kind of looked at Lara through the lens of, the obsession with, solving what her father couldn't, or, just the idea of raiding tombs or being that explorer. So is that a part of the obsession that we're talking about? Or I feel like there might be layers that maybe are not, right? Like that you...
Yeah. There's a lot that goes into the title. When you think about Shadow of the Tomb Raider, we're talking about stepping out of her father's shadow. We're talking about the shadow of what she could be as a person. We're talking about the inner conflict that Lara is going through, the darkness within her that she has to push through. We're talking about, the fact that being a Tomb Raider has such a responsibility, it casts such a large shadow, and we're actually talking about the eclipse. If you remember, we talked about when we first revealed the title, we said shadow actually means a lot of different things. So all throughout the narrative and all throughout, the story that we're telling, the word shadow means so many different things. So it absolutely fits into what you're talking about as well.
I'm so interested because as a Tomb Raider fan, I know where Lara ends up. Right? I've seen where she is after all this happens. And so with this being the final chapter in the origin story, we're all kind of wondering, how does she turn into that person that we've seen? Is that what we can expect here, is the closing of the gap? Or will we find a Tomb Raider that maybe has evolved or is a little bit different than the one we know?
I think it's definitely an evolution.
It's an evolution, but you would be saying that through what she went through to really approach where we know where, what she was in terms of when we're talking about the previous games and things like that. That's the goal. for us, when you look at even the way she dressed, the way the blue tank top things,
Right,
we're
right.
really approaching to where what it means to be a Tomb Raider when we're talking about because we talking about that she was introduced to tomb raiding in 2013 and then Rise, we're very discovering that, but here she really becomes the Tomb Raider, protecting. That's what she needs to learn through that, and this is the thing.
Shadow of
we
the Tomb
explore
Raider's
in
on
this
right
game.
now.
We have these two aspects: the positive aspect of it,
Shadow
and
of the
some
Tomb Raider?
more darker aspect of it.
And I think it's always through that lens.
Yeah.
The survival action lens.
Like a
that we've
review
seen
of it.
throughout Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider. For example, when we took you back to Croft Manor, it wasn't the Croft Manor that you remembered from the classic games.
Right.
We drew inspiration from it. We try and make sure that we're paying respectful homage to it. But it was a Croft Manor from a Lara Croft perspective of she walked away from that fortune, and the manor had fallen into disrepair. And so we'll do the same thing with what it means to become a Tomb Raider.
Exactly.
It's not that at the end she's going to strap on,
No.
a second pistol and put on sunglasses. It's that.
But are you sure?
We're not going to get there just yet. But the point is that we're going to redefine what it means through the survival action lens of what it means to become the Tomb Raider.
Exactly.
I do want to ask about the survival action lens, because I know we've even seen some evolution from the first reboot Tomb Raider to now of what things we're doing with Lara in the game. In the second, there was a lot more of like, hey, we get it, you guys want more tombs, take us back to the tombs. Are we going to see yet another evolution of what we're going to get to do with Lara in the game? Because I see what looks like a lot more puzzles.
Yes.
There's a lot more puzzles. They're deadlier. They're more dangerous, of course. Also, the world is bigger. There's a more aspect, because that's the thing. There's more tomb raiding in this game than the previous two
good.
games.
Great.
Okay, it feels much more Tomb Raider, even though there's a survival aspect of it. But at a certain point in the game, you really feel you're getting into a much more Tomb Raider vibe.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you say big, do you mean big, like big? You mean big from scale? Because I always loved scale.
We mean that the tombs are bigger.
Yes.
There are more tombs, and the hub space in particular
yeah.
is the biggest
Got
that
it.
we've
It's the
ever
biggest that we ever
delivered
built.
in
Yeah.
a Tomb Raider game.
Yes.
And because we know that that's something that our fans love. We love taking them on a roller coaster ride and letting them have the parts where you're really on that journey with Lara, but then we make sure that we get you into a hub and the world opens up. And that's when you have side missions, you have challenge tombs, you have side quests, total optional things. And for us, it really is, to Dan's point, every single pillar that we look at in the game, we want to take to the next level. So
Yep.
yes, there are more tombs, they are deadlier, they are scarier than ever before, they're bigger, that's going to make you feel like, yes, I am tomb raiding. We take the combat to the next level. So like you said, we're going to be doing new things with Lara. We start you with skills that she knew in the prior game. So it's not like you start from scratch.
I didn't forget
We make sure that you feel like Lara, now she sure has progression along the way,
course.
but we are showing Lara at the most capable, most confident she's ever been.
Cool.
And
We take
providing-
traversal to the next level too. Sorry, one last thing. We take traversal to the next level. And that even you see, if you look at the musculature on the back
I
of her
noticed
shoulders,
that.
she's doing things that she was never capable of doing before, climbing upside down, mantling
I
up
know, I
over
see
things.
that, yeah.
So every single step of the way, and then of course we already talked about the narrative, every single pillar, we are trying to deliver the next level. So you do feel like I am playing the most accomplished version of Lara Croft I've ever played.
And to just finish on that, it's providing also much more control to the player. Building the kind of Lara, having a much more accomplished, so the player can experience that also in the way playing Lara, where she's much more in control and you are much more in control also.
When you say that, I know that one of the things that we saw in Rise of the Tomb Raider was I could decide whether I want to run and gun or I can stealth the whole game.
Yeah.
Is that the kind
Absolutely.
of control you're talking about?
It's the same thing, but in Rise we had much more opportunities during what we call the assault, which was shooting. In this case, we provide a lot more opportunities also in stealth. You can still do the assault part of it, and now because she's much more in control and she's much more experienced, even the weapons, even though they are kind of similar, they are much more powerful and you feel much more powerful. But you can still do that. But the most rewarding aspect of it when you're thinking about it is looking at combat through the puzzles aspect of it, saying, okay, now I could do this, this, and that to trigger that in assault, but also in stealth. Now I have a lot more opportunities for the
Is
player.
that like
to be in
some of
control.
the? I saw the trap where it looked like she.
Yeah,
By-
like she's doing a
trapped
hanging
someone.
takedown.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
so she
okay.
can stay. So
Yeah.
Lara can spend a lot more time up in the canopy now.
Yeah.
You can actually get to the back up in there after you do that takedown once you improve that skill. And the idea is that, again, Lara being very, very capable now, she can do much more in stealth, or she can do much more in assault. And the thing that I love is that when you pop that bubble, as we call it, and go into assault mode, you can actually get back in the canopy or stay unseen for a while,
Cool.
and enemies will go back to stealth, so you can re-engage, as opposed to in Rise, where it was all stealth all the time once you pop the bubble. Now you can actually get back into stealth.
Get back
I love
in
it.
stealth, yes.
This, you're saying all these things that make my little heart go pitter-pat. Looking at combat through the puzzle lens of Lara, I'm so excited for that. Unfortunately, they only let me talk to you for a little while. So tell me anything people should know, where they can go to find out more, any dates we know yet, anything like that.
Absolutely. So Rise of the Tomb Raider will be out on Xbox One, on PlayStation 4, and PC on September 14th, and they can go to tombRaider.com for more details.
Great. Thank you guys so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you,
Thank
Barney.
you.
Can't
Thank
wait.
you.
And guys, don't go anywhere because we'll be right back with more from E3 on Twitch right after this.
I missed you guys.
Totino's Pizza Rolls.
Accept your new name and wear it with honor.
Okay, turn here, turn here.
I've been painting every fence I know, every color pleasing to the same. 'Cause before you go and walk away, yeah, you better know where you're going. You're a wanderer just like me. Yeah, you better know where you're going. Just like me. Yeah, you better know where you're going.
Ow! 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 Oh!
I was born to fight wars that no army could win. There was no fear, no failure. But the rules have changed. The enemy changed. And no one was ready for it.
The Black Hand. They are the world's most powerful private army. But even they should fear what they've created. This isn't a war, Rico. This is survival.
Does that happen a lot? What, me getting shot at? All the time.
Hello, everyone. Kelly Link here, joined by Rachel Querco, and we have Adam and Francesco from Avalanche Studios, and you guys are going to be showing us Just Cause 4. We just got to see that trailer there.
Yeah.
And man, the one thing that sticks out to me is that tornado.
Yeah.
What is going on with that tornado?
It's beautiful, isn't it? Well, something that I would like for people to know immediately is that it's beautiful, but it's not just a set piece. It's a real tornado. It's part of our world. It's a world that it's famous and known for its physics and the value of the sandbox, and the tornado is no exception. What you see there happens for real in the game, and everything interact with it. You can play with it, you can follow it, and you know, the imagination
You
is your
can
limit.
throw airplanes and helicopters into it.
So it's dynamic.
It
It's
is.
not like you're just following the story that involves the tornado. You can just go there whenever you want.
No, let me say this yet once again. It's Just Cause. So it's a sandbox where leaves you, you know, you are the master of this sandbox. You can do whatever you want with it. And the tornado is just one of the elements that we feature in the game. Extreme weather, it's actually one of the new features that you are presenting. You know, Rico is a force of nature. We thought,
Exactly.
what best of nature to be a real challenge for him. So the tornado is one. We also have lightning storms, we have sandstorms, blizzards. And each one of these events, we thought about it, we designed it as to leave player away to actually use them to their advantage to play within the world.
Interesting. So while all this sandbox and all these dynamic events that are going on in the game, you're allowed to really just kind of explore it or use it to your advantage while the story's going on.
Exactly, and it's you know, they're kind of restricted within certain areas of the game. So when you're in the rainforest, that's where you might see tropical storms more so. When you're in the grasslands, you'll run into the tornado, and then the desert will have things like sandstorms, and up in the alpine, snowstorms. So it's a bunch of different weather systems that all kind of interact with the player and the enemies and the other, you know, basically everything in the game.
Yeah.
Because they are fully realized features. They are physics and interaction kind of play things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know you guys, you do have a story, and I'm sure it's great, but one of the things that players love to do, we love to blow stuff up in the game,
Yeah.
we love to put things together and put this explosion to that explosion, chain reactions, just wild stuff.
Yeah.
So, what I'm wondering is, you know, you guys have always been so great about the explosions, about the physics interaction. How are they going to change in each weather environment, or is this just a totally different class of destruction and interaction?
Well, when there is extreme weather, everything changes around you. So the world change, what you see change, the way that enemy behaves change, the possibility that you have at your disposal change, the way that Rico's tools, so grappling hook, parachute, wingsuit behave change. So it's like playing a variation on a theme, and each time it's new and it's different, and you know, expands your vocabulary in terms of sandbox. Something I would like to say, since you mentioned it, yeah, I said before, we are Just Cause, sandbox is there, super important. But this time around, we actually decided to also have a nice narrative, a narrative that actually has a sense, a depth, and tells something about Rico and about the world. We don't want to reveal too much just yet.
We're not quite there yet.
Yeah, but it's going to be a component of the game that if you're interested in it, you will find something for you.
Well, just to go back a little, you're talking about the physics interactions, how they are going to affect. Can you actually give me like an anecdote of like how we might have seen something in maybe Just Cause 3 and how that same scenario would play out in an extreme weather event?
Yeah, that's a very nice question.
Without giving too much away, of course.
I think the parachute or the wingsuit alone would be reasonable examples of that, in that they behave, in Just Cause 3, they're behaving in pretty much a static environment where it's relatively calm air and whatnot. Whereas if you were in near the tornado or whatnot, you would actually behave differently. The parachute would begin to interact and be pulled by the, I don't know what you call it.
The wind,
the vortex force of the tornado, yeah.
Actually, another thing, so these events are real, right? They work through physics, and the element that makes you experience them, for example, in the case of the tornado, is wind. So to answer to your question, when we do things we do, up to the end, so having wind in a physics sandbox meant that we had to add an aerodynamic model to all vehicles. So it means that, for example, driving a car close to a tornado can be not that easy or can be exhilarating because all of a sudden you have a wind ramp that allows you to just soar into the sky with your car. And,
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that in the
You
trailer.
can see the tires coming off the ground a little
And do
bit.
they continue to?
Oh,
I mean,
it'll
is
pull
this
you
going,
right up
Are we
into
going
it.
full Twister?
If you get close enough, you will, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But another thing that you could do, so we haven't seen that in the trailer just yet, but we have also stepped up the grappling hook. Now the grappling hook comes with all a set of attachments that yet another time you can use to interact with the physics of the world. So say you could apply boosters to that vehicles and then control its ascent while it goes. Yes.
Definitely.
In theory, if that was possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like modulars, adding anything to anything on this game is really important. Is there anything from Just Cause 3 that you guys have added onto it? Any new mechanics beyond the dynamic weather?
But everything from Just Cause 3 comes back. And
Yeah.
that our player lab is back. We actually went to great lengths to improve what player did not like. For example, the systems. They asked for more variety, sense of discovery into the world, and from what Adam was saying before, we now feature 4 different environments, and within the environments there is also a great deal of variety, things to discover, to do, and so on.
What are some things that other fans are asking for out of the game that you guys are going to be implementing into it?
Well, this one, it's one of the strongest one. They really asked for a world that could surprise themselves at every corner. And then what we've done, we've seen that they were using all of a set of specific mechanics into the game, and we've taken them, we improved them, and we make even easier to use them. Another thing the players were lamenting was combat, that they were not so enticed by the combat in Just Cause 3. And so that has been an area where we have tapped a lot. Combat's completely changed. New enemy, new AI, new weapons. The weapons themselves that now interact with the sandbox. Each one has a primary fire, you know what it is, and a secondary fire that is something that may surprise
Do
you.
you have a favorite weapon?
I like the ray gun. The secondary fire, it's a drone. So you shoot up a drone, and you can use the drone to help you in combat. You can use it as a platform to reel in and parachute and wingsuit away. So that's one of my favorites.
I think it's worth saying as well, when we were looking at what players wanted to bring into the next game in the Just Cause series, sometimes it was the things that they brought forward themselves and said that, oh, we want this or we want that, but we actually watched a lot of Twitch and we watched a lot of what players were doing in the game, and they were surprising us with their creativity. Making giant Jenga stacks out of shipping containers and whatnot.
It's the beauty of Sandbox.
Exactly. And so when we looked at that and we looked at the grapple hook and the modular nature of this game, we wanted to give the Twitch audience, the YouTubers, everybody, the ability to build and do as much as possible and have all the toys available to them.
I think we can say that in the studio we really have the sense we want to make a game that is Twitch friendly. So,
Oh, absolutely.
Now, for example, with the grappling hook, you can in a modular way change the way that it works, and that allows you to do different things into the world. My aim is for player to realize things, film them, show them on Twitch, and for other players to say, oh, how did he pull that off? I want to do it. Go back into the game, start to experiment and do that.
Yeah, that was one of the questions I had too, and one of the prominent features of a lot of these fan games from Just Cause 3 was a lot of the destructible environments, some of the massive things that you could destroy. Have you put some huge things in here for us to send into the stratosphere?
What did we have in 3? We had about 40, and now we have almost
No,
doubled.
3 was less. 3 was like about 20 now.
20,
now,
right.
now we got 40, 45 different
Yeah.
kills objects, so the piece of destruction that you destroy within the system of the game, but also when it comes to the standard destruction with new bridges, for example. There is a moment where the tornado tears a trestle bridge apart completely, so it really reduces to stick, and everything happens in real time. Again, it's not a set piece. You can go back to the bridge and destroy
All
it in
real
another
physics
way.
interactions happening in real time. Yeah.
Yeah, we got, I think it's a small team. I'm so attached to it for some reason. We now destroy glass. So we got these giant glass domes, and it's nice to see helicopter crashing into the, why not?
I was a big fan of that. That was nice.
So guys, thank you so much for joining us here and showing us Just Cause 4. But I heard that this actually isn't the end for you here at E3. You guys are actually going to be having a 3-day stream going on, and we have a little trailer for that right now. Everyone, don't go anywhere. Here's the trailer for Just Cause 4.
The tornado is the best.
That was beautiful, man. Totino's Pizza Rolls.
Spirit of my silence, I can hear you, but I'm afraid to be near you, and I don't know where to begin, and I don't know where to begin.
It's just me, Captain Spirit. This is Chris to the Flying Fortress. Have you spotted Snowmancer? Not yet. Keep me posted.
Chris, breakfast.
Okay, Dad. You're drinking beer?
I don't need a lecture from my son.
I always get picked last for the team at school, and they never throw the ball to me.
They can't tell stories like you can they?
No way. Start the launch. Too late! Emergency!
You're too weak to fight me.
This time, you won't get away from me.
just gonna get it done. And it's alright.
I miss Mom's smile.
Me too.
Nobody's friend.
You're probably gonna change the world.
I hope so.
I know so.
Really does.
Captain Spirit is here!
I think you're a vision.
The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. Download for free from June 26th.
Welcome back, everyone. Kelly Link here on live or E3 on Twitch, joined by Rachel Querco, and we have Michelle from Don't Nod joining us, and you're going to be telling us about Captain Spirit, the trailer that we just saw there. It's so whimsical and beautiful and emotional because we've all lived those lives. I mean, before video games became so prevalent, we played video games through our imagination.
And we did go outside. There was a time.
One long ago.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, we're so excited to be showcasing Captain Spirit at this E3. We've been hard at work for over the past 2 years on Life is Strange 2 for Square Enix, and Captain Spirit will be really the first steps, the first entry point for the player into the world of Life is Strange 2. Because Captain Spirit is a free standalone experience, that's completely free, that we released in 2 weeks. And when the players play Captain Spirit, they will be able to discover clues and hints about the story of Life is Strange 2 and the character of Life is Strange 2.
Oh, that's fantastic. So what was the inspiration to make this game free for everyone to play and to get an introductory into Life is Strange 2?
Yeah, we're extremely happy that we have been able to give this game to the players. It's really a gift that us as creators, with Raoul Barbet, the other creative director, we really thought that giving away this game to the player would be a great way for them to experience the stories, the universe we like to create. It's really a full game that is around 2 hours of gameplay, and it can be much more if the player takes time to explore everything, because the game has been designed to be played again and again to find new secrets, new treasures, new hints and clues about the next Life is Strange game, but also links to the first one.
So there's a lot of like Easter eggs, but is it still a linear story? It still has the same beginning and the same ending, but a lot of different nuances that you can find throughout the game to learn more about it.
Yeah, basically you're playing as Chris, who is a 10-year-old boy, quite a lonely kid, who has a vivid imagination, and he likes to pretend he's a superhero, Captain Spirit. And you're playing on this Saturday morning. Your dad is watching a basketball game, and you know that you will go to buy a Christmas pine tree when you finish watching the game. So now you're free to basically spend your morning, your Saturday morning, do whatever you want as a kid. So we have tons of interactions where you can play with your toys, you can discover, you can explore some part of your house. You can help your dad with just cleaning the house, or you can just really go deep inside your imagination and try to create some own special adventures, because as kids we always try to imagine we're in some imaginary worlds and pretend we're superheroes.
Well, I told you, Michelle, when we sat down here before the segment started, that this trailer, it made me tear up a little bit, it made me cry, and I think it's because I've played Life is Strange, and it looks so simple and so soft, and then you get into the nitty-gritty, the interactions, the story, and it's so dark and so real life, but it really makes you reckon with things. And now I see this innocent boy, and his father's not really watching him, and he's playing with explosives in the yard, and I already love this child, and I feel like you're going to break my heart.
You have to see.
No.
But yeah, it's definitely a Life is Strange game. So it has these uplifting moments, but of course also we are basically using the fact of kids play, of going into this kind of imagination. But while the player is doing that, while he's playing Captain Spirit and doing the quests of Captain Spirit, because you'll see in the game there is some quests that, as a kid, Chris thinks he likes to do, like build his costume, find some treasure in the backyard, fight some imaginary monsters. So while you find your way to do those tasks, you will also discover, of course, everything about the storytelling of Chris, of his father, to get more clues of what happened to this family, why Chris is acting like he is, why his father Charles is drinking or stuff like that. So it's a way of blending the carelessness of a kid and the harsher stories of the adult world.
Well, you mentioned this is to help lead us into Life is Strange 2. These aren't characters that I recognize from the original Life is Strange, so I want to know how, not how they relate necessarily, but how you decided that telling this story is going to help us.
Yeah, definitely. Since the past 2 years, when we've been working on Life is Strange 2, when creating the world of Life is Strange 2, we created a lot of character stories, and you will learn about it in the couple of months. But there was some characters that we really loved, and we thought that it would be interesting to create some side standalone stories using those characters, and this is it. And because for us, Life is Strange is not just about Max and Chloe or Arcadia Bay. It's really about telling stories about interesting characters. So that's why we're also really happy to be able to have new characters and tell their stories, and hopefully the players will love them as much as they did love Max and Chloe.
Beyond the story and the characters, I really love the mechanics of not just Life is Strange, but also the prequel, where Max had the ability to rewind time, Chloe had the ability to like choose major 2 decisions, I believe it was. Is there any mechanic like that that's going to be introduced into this game?
So yeah, in Captain Spirit, of course he's a kid, but he pretends he's a superhero. So there's these mechanics where there are a lot of interaction in the game where you can just press the trigger on the controller and decide to interact with the object as a superhero instead of as just a normal kid. So we'll have to discover a lot of those in the game, but it adds a way. Just one quick example, for example, a simple task like washing the dishes. You can just help your dad and wash the dishes by yourself, or you can do it by pretending you're doing it with a superpower, and it changes the way and the flavor and the way of how those interactions are experienced. And this is just a simple example, but there is much more. Like you've seen in the trailer some weird spaces, some different environments that are just not the house, not just the house. So Chris can sometimes pretend and go into his own imagination, and where, for example, some small dark room in the house can become a bigger dark place filled with monsters.
Is it something that you can actively change, though? Like, say you're in the house and you're just staring at like an object, and then you go into superhero mode and it turns into a monster whenever you want, or is it based off of a certain point in the game?
No, it's more based off how Chris can pretend sometimes with some objects he can use his superpower. And for the other part of the game I told about, it's more when you complete some quest or when you find some secret, you can enter some of those imagination worlds.
Now, I know that you can't talk about Life is Strange 2,
yeah.
but with this game, Captain Spirit, leading into Life is Strange 2, is there certain things that you wanted to hit on to prepare people for that game in this one? Whether it's getting them emotionally ready, or if there's new mechanics in this game that people can expect in Life is Strange 2?
So I really cannot say anything about Life is Strange 2, but if the players search long enough in the game, and they will definitely find hints and clues to some parts of the stories of Life is Strange 2. They will also find some links with the first game. And yeah, there are a lot of elements in this game that are here also to lead to Life is Strange 2, but I cannot say which one.
Okay, fair enough. I do have one question, though. As someone working on the game and someone who obviously cares a lot about this game, there's so much going on that it's easy for players to kind of miss something on their first or second or 10th playthrough. Is there anything that is particularly special to you that you'd want us to make sure to find when we sit down? Because this game is free. I'm going to download it. I'm absolutely going to play this. So what do I not want to miss?
So I really think that the way we did create the game was really to be like almost a treasure box where you can just play it again and again and find new different stuff in it. So you can play one big long playthrough and find a lot of things, but you still have to play it a few different times to experience everything. Just as example, there is moments where a phone might be ringing, and you need to be there at this moment to experience what it is. So if you missed it in your playthrough, it's missed. You will need to have another playthrough to experience that.
So it's real time.
A lot of it is real time, and there are a lot of different stuff you can do that you can do at any moment, but there is definitely a timeline where you need sometimes to be there at the right moment to experience it. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. So definitely, yeah, in the second or third playthrough, you're going to catch things that you didn't catch before because you're moving a little faster. Maybe you moved in a different hallway that way. Now, tell me a little bit about this kid right here that we're seeing here. What did you say his name was again?
Chris.
Chris?
Yeah.
Tell me about Chris.
So Chris is a 10-year-old kid living alone with his father, Charles. His father is a retired basketball star. And you will have to discover in the game also why the father decided to stop his career, what happened to him, also why are they just leaving the two of them together? Basically, the mom is not here anymore. And so that's something that the player and you will have to discover, but there is a lot of events that did happen that also pushed Chris into his, so he could retreat more into his imagination, also because of what happened to his family, to his home. He's really creative, he likes to draw a lot, so we discover a lot of drawing he did during the game. The first task you have in the game is to draw your costume, to decide, and so that's some player choices. You decide what kind of superhero you would like to be. And the drawing you make, the choice you make in the beginning will change the way you have to play the game. If you want to create the full costume, the choice, the different thing you draw in the beginning will force you to look to different parts of the house. Like for example, here we can see that he just made a really cool tinfoil helmet. If he did choose a mask, it would be another part of the house and another way to make the costume.
So it affects his powers.
It doesn't affect the power.
Okay.
It affects the visuals of his costume, and but no, the power is still the same. He's still pretending he has telekinesis power.
So some of the choices, it sounds like, are purely cosmetic. Some of and that's sort of the nature of real life. Some of the choices you make don't really matter, and then sometimes you're going to make a choice that feels as inconsequential, but that is actually going to be hugely important for the plot. Are there specific, is every major plot point something that we're going to hit no matter how we time our playthrough of the game, or can we miss actually entire large things?
You won't miss the big major plot points,
Okay.
but you can definitely miss some secondary plot points. Like, just for example, you see that the dad is watching the game. So he's really focused on his game and you cannot talk to him much. But there are some ways to interact more with him. And that will be for the player to find the good timing or the right interactions to try to get more of the attention of his dad. And so we thought that the ending it will be the same for all players, but there will be a lot of branches to how to get to this ending and how the relationship with his dad will evolve and some other stuff I cannot talk about. And I hope, since it releases in 2 weeks, the players will take a lot of time to experience everything, and I can't wait to see the walkthrough and see how the player reacts to the different stuff they can do in the game.
Yeah, this is incredible how much you've built, how much you're giving for a free game, and we appreciate it because it's definitely going to wet my whistle for Life is Strange 2.
For those hardcore fans in Life is Strange Before the Storm, they were able to collect pictures. For people that like to go 100%, is there anything like that in collective abilities in this game?
So we don't have per se a real collectible mod in this game, but the game by itself is completely a collectible mod, I would say, because there is so much to find or to discover that just finding everything or completing all the quests and finding all the story informations will be for the collectible mod. We didn't feel that it would be necessary to have a real collectible mod somehow out game. It's just in the game. How you spend your Saturday morning will be a collection.
Well, especially with this being like a short game, it's free, it's more of a taste to get you into Life is Strange 2. So maybe it's not going to have all of the same features that Life is Strange or Before the Storm had, but this is leading into what you want Life is Strange, the fans to be prepared for.
But it's still also really completely a full game. That's really important that for us, even if players never play Life is Strange 1 and don't even play Life is Strange 2, it's really a complete game and complete experience with a full storytelling that the player should experience, I think, and that we really loved creating this game. So by itself, it's already a full, complete game. And of course, if the player looks enough, there will be a lot of hints and a lot of a good entry point for Life is Strange 2.
So this game's coming out in 2 weeks. Where can people download it and find it?
It will be available in 2 weeks, so on PS4, Xbox One, and Steam, and PC.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for joining us here
Thank
and
you.
showing us Captain Spirit. And everyone, thank you guys for joining us. Don't go anywhere because we're going to have more with E3 on Twitch.
Golden delicious rolls. That was beautiful, man. Totino's pizza rolls.
Accept your new name and wear it with honor.
Yeah, I'm lost and numb, cold to the touch. I pretend like I don't remember your name. Every masterpiece turns to blasphemy. When I close my eyes, yeah, I still see your face. We were the thunder and the lightning, burning fire that started from a spark. I would spend you just to watch you twirl. It was us against the world. You were the rain falling on my skin. Yeah, I was dying when you pulled me in. I was your rebel and you were my girl. It was us against the world.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Here we are, E3 2018. I'm Ezekiel III, joined with by, that's good English, right?
Both.
Anna Prosper Robinson, and we are here with, more importantly, a couple of guys from Outer Wilds. We got Alex and Lowen. How are you guys doing?
Good. Doing good.
Excellent, excellent. We got a chance to see a little tiny piece of the game Outer Wilds, and it looks intriguing to say the least. We got actual gameplay to get to, but before we do that, can you tell us just like a elevator pitch of Outer Wilds?
Sure. Outer Wilds is an open world mystery where you explore a solar system that is trapped in a 20-minute time loop.
Oh my God. Now, there's going to be a lot of people saying, so I'm just going to get out of the way, like, it's a Groundhog Day kind of a vibe, yeah? Okay, cool, all right.
I don't think I've ever heard the phrase open world mystery before, and so I was very intrigued, because I like mysteries, I like solving mysteries, I like mystery books, so tell us what that means when you put it in the context of a game.
Sure, so we often describe the game as space archaeology.
Ooh.
And I think a lot of the game is there's this ancient alien race that lived and died long before you kind of come onto the scene, and they left ruins all over the solar system that your species lived in. And so a lot of the game is exploring and investigating these ruins, interacting with their technology, and piecing together the story of what these people were doing here. And also, there's a question, why are you in a time loop? The game's full of these questions, and we just try to give players the tools to go out and answer them.
Excellent. Well, I hate to say it, let's get to the gameplay. We can talk while, it's not like we're gonna stay silent, but we're gonna actually show off the game right now. We're gonna wait until we get it on the screen here, because we gotta start by waking up. Oh, here we go. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're asleep.
All right. Apparently, you start asleep, and you stay asleep for a little while.
I mean,
until...
isn't that the goal, though? Like, really, in life? Like, wouldn't we all like to stay asleep just a minute longer?
That's right. We would like to stay asleep a bit longer.
I think they're going to work on fixing it.
Live television, it's okay. Shit happens.
We
got it. Oh, looks like, okay, here we go. Now we go back to the rest. There we go, we got it.
All right. Yeah, so the game starts like this. It's just a cold open. You wake up, and you're camping out under the stars. You're an alien. You can tell by your hands and your feet. And this person over here, who, if you talk to them, this is Slate, and they will let us know that, hey, it's launch day. We're the newest member. We're the newest member of Outer Wilds Ventures, which is our village's space program.
Ooh.
It's like
Okay.
a backwoods version of NASA.
Oh, sure, like cowboy astronaut.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, the vibe of the game is very much camping in space.
Okay,
So
okay.
you can go into
Cool.
space, and you can also like roast marshmallows.
That's awesome.
And so the beginning of the game is we just have to go get the launch codes from the observatory, which is on the other side of the village. And so on our way there, we can talk to characters that'll kind of set up what's going on. There's little things we can interact with that'll teach us the mechanics of the game. Like there's like a little model ship here, which we can hop on and fly this thing around. And it's obviously teaching us like how to fly the ship, but also secretly, so most people play this and they like just smash the hell out of it. It's just exploding all over the place. And then later it's time to get into like the full-size ship, and it's like, should I be doing this? Because we really want to capture that feeling of fragility, right? Like people should not go into space.
Right.
Like it's a terrible idea. And building up the sense of danger.
Why was that so important for the success of this game?
We really wanted to capture the feel and just like the spirit, I guess, of real-world space exploration.
Cool.
And sort of like, because there are other, there's a lot of other space games out there, but it was really important to us that we nail the sense of, well, why do we go into space? And it's for curiosity, to find out what's going on, to understand, which is why the game's about mysteries. It's all about answering these big questions, like, why is there a time loop? What happened to these ancient people that came and died? Why did they come here in the first place?
Now, how do you discover these things, that there is a time loop and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so we're going to see the start of the time loop pretty quickly here. Lowen's just like gunning for the observatory. We have to go talk to Hornfell, so they'll give us the launch codes.
Okay, okay.
And there's an event that we'll see very shortly as we leave the observatory that's sort of the impetus for all of this.
Okay.
But it is kind of a slow burn in that sense. Like there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in this game, and we try to kind of introduce it gradually. In fact, this is the observatory, which has a museum where you're not the only astronaut in this world. There are other travelers who have gone out into space and brought things back to your village.
So there's like artifacts, like archaeology, of course. Yeah.
So like you're going around, and this is sort of us introducing players to the idea, like, hey, here's the bones of this ancient race that used to live long before we were ever here. Like, what's that all about? And kind of teasing the player with things that they'll find later. Like everything in this museum is, comes into play like later in the game. Like there's a gravity crystal, we can walk on walls.
I was like,
what
just happened?
There's a plaque there. It's just like, it's a gravity distortion. They probably use this for such and such.
Okay. And it kind of gives you little hints as to what is coming up in the game.
Kind of giving you a hint that, hey, this is a game where every piece of information that you encounter is going to be useful at some point, and everything ties together. We've spent a lot of time, connecting this web of just stuff that's going on.
Meaning to everything, huh?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And so the balls in that, there are those balls rolling around we just saw. You have to, we can, yeah, sorry. I was seeing you looking at those, and I was like, this is an introduction. So the balls are rolling around. It kind of looks like on their own. The sign asks why. Any guess?
Why the balls are rolling around on their own?
They just sort of move around. They're like, of course, I say that, and they're like sitting there.
They exist outside of time.
That's not bad. Yeah, that's actually, no one's ever guessed that before.
Okay.
So it's the moon as it orbits the planet. The gravity's actually pulling on.
Oh, like the waves of the ocean.
Exactly.
Okay, very cool.
Because we're simulating all the physics in real time.
Oh, cool.
We then show right here.
Whoa, on that grand of a scale. So literally the planetary alignments are impacting the physics that are being procedurally generated?
So the physics are, so everything here, nothing here is procedural in the sense of like level design and sort of story content, but in terms of like the actual physical forces that are going on, like yeah, it's all being just done in real time. It's sort of like, I mean, we'll see, we'll lift off, and if you cut the engines, you'll just fall back to the planet because gravity. But everything is moving around very quickly, sort of this chaotic system.
Okay. Well, actually, that's a good point, because one of their taglines in their Steam blurb is handcrafted. What does that mean to you? Like handcrafted environments, right?
Yes.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means that every piece of level design, every planet design in the game is done by people.
Okay.
Very meticulously, mostly by Lowen and myself. Our hands have crafted.
So there's a lot of love in this game.
Yes.
That seems like such a grand scale to work with the physics on. I mean, I'm not a game developer, but that seems like a lofty undertaking.
It's a small miracle that it works.
Yeah, it took a lot of engineering to get
I
it
bet.
to work. Yeah. But like, of course, we try our best to keep it performant for all the consoles. But I mean, for the console and as many PCs as possible. But we also want to keep the fun of it and make sure the simulation is still there.
Absolutely. So now that we're in this museum, we're supposed to get launch codes?
So we got them from Hornfels up top.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then players spend as much time as they want in here, and then as they leave, we have our first hint that something is amiss.
Oh, wow.
And so this is, the statue comes to life and sucks out our characters' memories.
Whoa. And so that was what we actually saw as we played, I think, right? Wow.
Now, wait a minute. He sucks out the memories. Is that... He keeps them, or do we get to keep our memories, or...
We'll find out.
What the hell, man?
What? Mystery.
It's mystery.
It's a right, a mystery, of course. You don't want to ruin the mystery.
And that is one of the things. So that, I mean, you find out fairly quickly. That's the moment of us getting hooked into the time loop.
Okay.
And so now every 20 minutes, or sooner if we die, we will go back in time.
Back to the observatory?
Back to the moment where we wake up at the beginning, actually.
Really?
And there are reasons for all of like why that is the way it is and why that statue came to life. But to figure all of that out, you know, the answers are elsewhere.
Right, and that's why it's always so it's a tricky task talking to someone about a game that has a lot of mystery in it, because there's going to be times where you say, I can't tell you. That's kind of the point of the game, is to figure that shit out, right?
Well, if we have a 20-minute time loop, so am I understanding correctly that every 20 minutes, regardless, I will wake up at the campfire, and I only have 20 minutes to go as far as I can to find answers? Interesting.
Well, E3, time flies, man. Tell us where we can get it. Where can we buy this game?
So Outer Wilds is going to be available on Xbox and PC 2018.
In 2018. When in 2018?
2018.
It's a mystery.
Soon, TM, of course, soon, TM. Well, Alex Lone, thank you so much for showing us your game. I appreciate it. Thank you. You can expect it in 2018, and that's all you get. But you can look at it on Steam right now. You can actually see it, but you can't buy it yet. But keep an eye out. Outer Wilds coming soon. Don't go away. We've got lots more stuff coming to you right here. E3 2018. Stick around.
She's home!
Nice. I missed you guys.
Totino's Pizza Rolls!
Smoke the ball, play game. Sounds like a plan, Thomas! Sounds like a plan!
Welcome back to E3 on Twitch, powered by Totino's Pizza Rolls. You're here on day one. It's a conference day, but we've taken this break, and we've got a lot of special guests coming in here, and we thank each and every one of them for making the trek over. And today, we've got Terrence He from H1Z1, your producer on the game, joining us.
Thank you. Very excited to be here.
Awesome. So you've had a kind of exciting period recently. Of course, you know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
A lot happening on the PC side.
Yes.
But on the console side, you've had a PS4 release.
Yep. We just came out of open beta a couple of weeks ago, and honestly, the reception has just been phenomenal. The numbers were just incredible for us. I think we hit in the first 24 hours like 1 million downloads, 1 million players, and I think we're over 8.5 million already.
Congratulations.
Well,
that's
thanks.
great.
Yeah, and the PlayStation blog just said that for the month of May, we are #1 download.
Awesome.
So that's really, really exciting news for us. For
And
sure.
I just have to ask, because both a PC and a console player, but sometimes each community wants something a little bit different.
Sure.
Is that a interesting and fun world to tackle there?
Yeah, and it's true. We knew that when we made the PC version, the console version rather, that we had to make it specifically for that market.
Right.
It's, the certain controls don't translate very well, right? So on the console, what we ended up doing is we ended up cutting out a lot of the things that would get in your way. So we got rid of crafting, and then we got rid of like inventory. So now instead of inventory management, you just use your D-pad to select quick items. Like a medical kit or first aid. And then in addition, we've given you a weapon wheel that's obviously much more similar to what you expect on modern shooters these days.
Have you gotten any response from PC players who have played on console and been like, wow, you like really figured it out?
Yeah, and a lot of them are asking for some of the features that we put on the console that aren't there on the PC side. So like the console side, we actually have 6 new weapons. And that matters a lot, because one of the things that we did on the console is we actually have power progression or weapon progression that we don't really do on the PC side. And so we've really tried to, we're really hearing players asking for those same weapons to come on over to the PC side. So they're separate teams, and so both teams are kind of looking at like, well, how do they learn from each other at this point?
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you came here to talk to us about was some new H1Z1 content.
Oh yeah, for the PC side?
Yeah.
So the big thing coming up real soon for the PC side is we're actually releasing what we call our remastered Z1. And this has been a real labor of love both for the team and the community. Z1 is what we call the first map that came out. And
the OG map.
It is the OG map. It is exactly what kind of spawned all of this battle royale craziness and popularity that we now see. We went back, we started with the terrain, we got rid of some of the pain points that you had in the first version. We redid all of the assets and updated them so the performance is better, and just the art style and everything is better. So we are super pumped to get that out into the hands of both our old players that remember Z1, and they proudly call themselves Z1 gamers, and then all of the new players that missed out and they only know Z2.
And this is something that you've been wanting to do for a while, and the community's wanted for a while, and it's taken a while, right?
And it's taken a while, and we wanted to do it right, not fast. And so they'll get it in their hands really shortly, though. It's going to go out in live June 27th.
June 27th?
So just a couple weeks away.
Right,
so
perfect time for summer, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you just touched on this a little bit earlier, but I was wondering if you could go a little more in depth with your discussion of the progression system and how that's going to play out.
Yeah, so on the console, it's really interesting, right? Unlike the PC version, on the console version, when you first land, you only can find what we would call our level 0 gear and weapons. So you only can find pistols, submachine gun, and shotgun. So it's very close range. Now, what happens is throughout the match, we have airdrops that have the level 1 weapons, the level 2 weapons, and finally the level 3 weapons. And so these airdrops across the map, they kind of create these flashpoints and these conflicts where, because everyone's racing for the better weapons, obviously, right? And then what also happens is you have the smarter players smart players who will kind of camp that. And they'll wait for the suckers like me to try to get the better weapons, and they'll just kill me,
Look,
right?
there's some waiting right for me.
Yeah,
it's a trap.
Exactly, it's a trap. And so it's a very different dynamic than we have on the PC side.
Sure.
Yeah, because we wanted to make a pure battle royale experience for the console to kind of quicken the pace and make sure that's just cut out the fluff. And we also wanted to kind of innovate in that space. And so that kind of forced power progression is something very different.
Are you getting a whole new set of like feedback from all of the new players that are coming in?
Yeah. And a lot of that is they ask for like quality of life features. We've tried to give them, like they want a way to swap their weapons in their weapon slot because now they have a weapon wheel. And so we just put that out. They wanted a way to drop medical items, so we brought that out. And the biggest thing that just happened a few days ago is we released what we call the EMP grenade. So cars are super important in H1, right?
Right.
Yeah. So because the map is huge, it's like the largest map in the BR experience. It's 100 square kilometers. So you need cars for mobility, right? But that tool is really powerful. So we needed to give players a way to kind of counter that tool. Hence the EMP grenade. It's it's detonates on impact. It's a general 10 meter radius and will disable any car for a full 20 seconds, which in a shooter is like an eternity.
That's not necessarily like a hard stop, but does your like slow to a roll, or is it a hard stop?
It'll slow to a quick roll.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll slow to a quick roll. So that just came out a few days ago, and we're really curious to see how the community reacts to that. So far, it's been like big change for sure, which is really interesting for us. And then we have another thing coming out in the next week or so. We're calling it the airstrike grenade. This is a rare find, but basically you throw it out there, and then a few seconds later, fighter bombers will come zipping by and just will carpet bomb an area. So
that seems that definitely seems like that is definitely a game changer.
That's another game changer.
And also a decision on when the best time to use it.
Because it's rare, right? Because you don't want to die not using it.
Right.
That's the worst.
But you also
thing in the
probably
world.
want to maximize the effectiveness of it. So.
And you talked a little bit about some of these items coming from drops that are going to different level progression. Is that going to be something that is going to be maybe the highest level drop, or is that still an Easter egg? Okay, you're not gonna turn a corner and be like, oh, drawer, hey.
Exactly. That'll come from our level 3 airdrop, the rarest crate, and it itself is kind of rare, so it's not even 100% there.
That's great. So new map coming, and you mentioned June, right?
Yep, June 27th.
And you've got, of course, a lot of things that you're changing on the console. And again, congratulations on the success of that. Also, just wanted to just touch briefly on the fact that you've got the H1 Pro League going on too.
Oh yes, correct. Yeah. So that's really cool because talk about a hardcore player experience. These guys are just
last hope. Are they?
What's your magic? Is it taking your worries and reassigning them to oblivion? Is it being the totally coolest dad ever? For the day, anyway. It could be nothing to do and all day to do it. Maybe it's family time coming down before everyone grows up. Or is it feeling relaxed, renewed, and rejuvenated for the first time in forever? Whatever your magic, you'll find it at Glenwood Hot Springs Resort. After all, there's magic in this water.
Jump Force.
God damn. That looks sick, man.
Is it actually confirmed that it's a fighting game?
I don't know, man.
I mean, I thought it was pretty straightforward. It was a fighting game. But what if it's not a fighting game? What if it's like something else?
Let's see. Hold on. It says Unite to Fight. And it's from Spike Chunsoft. What have they made? Obviously, Bandai Namco is producing it. Unreal Engine. I don't know, man. Is it a straight up fighting game? Obviously,
There's
it
IGN
is.
gameplay? Hold on.
Oh, IGN has gameplay? The fuck? Really? I doubt it. Jump Force IGN gameplay.
No, it's just a trailer.
Yeah, why are you fucking lying?
Why
You think it's a BR game where like you choose who you want to play in the universe of all the different anime?
What if it's a MOBA?
Whoa. No. A MOBA? Dude, what if it is a MOBA? Oh shit. It actually could be a MOBA. Rip. It could be. Chat, is it a MOBA? Don't lie to me.
Unite to fight, which means there's gonna be a team, you gotta unite with people to team up against the other fucking weebs, and then
You fuck weeb versus weeb? Battle
and
of the
you
Weeb?
like kind of unite in MOBAs.
Yeah.
Oh god, monk ass.
It looks good. It looks good. Yo, Coldera, what up, man? Cliff Dog, Paulius, thank you guys for the primes. Yo, calm
I'm
the
looking
fuck
forward
down.
to it.
Isn't the
Fuck
game
it,
based
dude.
on
I'm
some
not that much
source
of a weeb, but I'm
material?
turning into a weeb.
I don't know, man. Wait, what?
I'm not much of a weeb, but I'm turning into one, so.
Yo, man, it's a gradual, bro. It's gradual. You'll get there. You'll get there. Dude, okay. I get what people are saying about, like, yeah, Microsoft's conference was good because they got to show a bunch of games off that aren't their exclusives. So if you're looking, like, Battletoads, Gears of War 5, Gears Tactic, Gears Pop, Session is not an exclusive. It's on PlayStation. It's confirmed.
Right.
Forza Horizon
a lot of the
4.
games they're showing off, they just like got other companies to show on their show for some reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the Division and
Kingdom
Hearts.
The Division, Kingdom Hearts, Metro,
all that shit.
Cyberpunk, like Crackdown
And
3.
that stuff, some of this stuff isn't even just going to be on the Windows Store either. Like Metro is probably going to be on Steam. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably going to be on Steam, or it's going to be on the Ubisoft Uplay launcher.
Well, if you look at E3 recap the exclusive, it shows you which ones are exclusive. So Gears of War, all the different Gears of War, Forza Horizon 4, Crackdown 3, Halo Infinite, Ori and the Will of the Wisps are the only quote-unquote exclusives.
But there are a lot of new games they showed.
Yeah. So
there
like
are a lot of new games.
The presentation was good, but if you compare like full-out exclusives, like Microsoft Studio exclusives compared to Sony, Sony still shits on them.
But Sony is showing the same games every year. They only release like a couple new ones each year.
True, but we have like
At their E3.
Yeah, but
I love Sony. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love Sony, and I still think they're gonna destroy Microsoft. But they are showing the same games over and over and over again.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, when it comes to overall, and this is saying, like, for example, Cyberpunk, Jump Force, all these games are going to be able to play either on PlayStation 4 or PC. They're not exclusive to Microsoft. But if we're talking about exclusives, so, like, you're comparing Gears of War, Forza, Crackdown, Halo, Ori, yo, this would be interesting to see exclusive versus exclusive, because you have Gears 5, Ori 2, Forza 4. What else? Halo Infinite. What else? Crackdown 3.
You're talking about
only specific like
only
Microsoft Studio,
Microsoft
like
stuff?
like their IPs or
Are
whatever.
you ignoring PC possible release too?
No. This is Microsoft Studio shit. So it will be on PC, but it's still their like studio making it. So like Sony's exclusives are like their fucking shit. You know, Battletoads.
Is it everything with the Xbox Play Anywhere thing?
No, it's like the ones with the exclusive shit on them.
Oh, exclusive.
Like, yeah, you can play these on PC, but these games are actually from Microsoft. You know, so you have, these are the actual exclusives. You can't include all these other games. Like, you're going to be able to play them on Xbox and PlayStation and PC or only console. And then if you compare it to Sony, Sony has Spider-Man. You have Ghost of Tsushima. You have Death Stranding. The Last of Us 2. These are the ones that we've confirmed that are coming out. Days Gone. What am I missing, chat? Red Dead Redemption 2 is not PlayStation 4. That's PS4 and Xbox. It's not on the list. Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Uncharted, I don't think they're releasing a new Uncharted. Bloodborne 2, you guys are making shit up now. Ace Combat's on PC. So, like, if you look at that...
Racing game. Was it?
like a GT?
Gran Turismo?
Gran Turismo?
Gran Turismo?
Sure, Gran fucking
They'll probably
Turismo.
talk about a new Gran Turismo or some shit.
So you have these. Now, these are straight up exclusive fucking games you can only play on the PlayStation. Oh, Spyro? Gran Turismo, you might be able to play on PC. I don't fucking know. Fuck Gran Turismo.
No, Gran
Who
Turismo.
cares?
Yeah, I think Gran Turismo is just PlayStation.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Session is confirmed on PC and console, so that doesn't count. So if we're talking about pure from Microsoft Studios compared to like Sony
wins.
Sony wins.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sony wins. Okay, now also look at that chat and tell me what games we haven't seen before at other E3s.
Okay, that's true.
That's what I was saying, and chat was being fucking stupid with me, and they were saying, "Shorty, are you fucking stupid? Do you think before you talk?"
Wow, chat. Because
Like-
we haven't seen Gears 5. We haven't seen Ori 2. We haven't seen Forza 4. Even if you saw leaks and you knew it was coming, you still didn't see it. That doesn't count. Halo Infinite, we didn't see. Crackdown 3, we've seen. Battletoads, I want to say we haven't seen. The remake. Spider-Man, we've seen. Tsushima, we've seen. Death Stranding, we've seen, but we haven't seen gameplay. Last of
No
Us 2,
gameplay,
we've
yeah.
seen. Days Gone, we've seen. Final Fantasy, we've seen. Gran Turismo, no shit. Gran Turismo's like almost every fucking year. Devil May Cry is gonna be on PC, bro. Dying Light's gonna be on PC. What the fuck are you talking about? Jump Force is gonna be on fucking PC or console. What are you talking about?
I just want to see new stuff from Sony. That is it. I just want to see stuff that we're not expecting. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
The past E3s, they've repeated a lot of stuff. Even if they started to show gameplay, and then the previous one they showed trailers or whatever.
Mm.
I want like some really big surprises from them.
See, the thing is though, like so far, all of these exclusives have been so good, and I feel like that the amount of effort they put into their Sony exclusives. Like you can, from what we've played, you and I, whether it was Detroit, whether it was fucking God of War. Wait, IGN live gameplay.
Realistic game.
Oh shit, dude! They showed live gameplay, bro, on Twitch of Jump Force. Check this shit out.
Game.
It is a fighting game? Yeah, yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm clicking. I'm looking at you right here. Fucking Naruto, bro.
Realistic game
Hell
too.
yeah,
They're
say it.
fighting on Earth, is that right?
Dude, this looks so sick.
本日お見せしているトレーラーや、出展している、ロムの方ではニューヨークと、マッターホルンの、ステージを、紹介してます。
So yes,
So
this
it
does
takes
take
place
place
in, like,
in
on
the
Earth.
world as we know it. So on the show floor, you're going to see stages very familiar, like New York. Oh my God. Okay, this is quite a lot. Now, obviously, some of these characters have shown up in fighting games before. Naruto and Goku are no stranger to being
3v3.
in fighting games. Mechanically, how would you describe this as a fighting game? It's a 3D brawler. まあ格闘ゲームとしてはこれどういうふうに説明しますかね。まあこれ 3D のブローラーっていうか。
そうですね。
So it'd be like what other game was just like was it Dragon Ball Z? Was there a Dragon Ball Z fighting game?
Dragon Ball Fight.
So it's going to be more like a
No, that was left to right.
action
No,
fighting game.
what was the one that was like a 3D
great.
arena like that?
Now obviously we've got realistic game too.
Dude, that looks sick. Yeah, which one was it?
Xenoverse.
Xenoverse. Yeah, Xenoverse. You're right. You're right. Xenoverse was 3D, but this
I think the
seems
reason
like
people are excited for this is just because of the characters.
well, the
There's different
characters
you can play as.
and like the fucking graphics. They're not like they're way more 3D compared to like any other game. If you know what I'm saying. There's like way more going on with the characters. You could arguably say it looks more realistic, but that's like a stupid way of saying it. But you can't deny, like, graphically, the animations, like, it looks so much cooler.
そうですね。設定は現実の、世界なので、本日お見せしているトレーラーや、出展している、ロムの方ではニューヨークと、マッターホルンの、ステージを、紹介しています。
So yes, this does take place in.
I don't know. I think it'll be kind of cool. It'll be interesting to see the final product. Ora! Genjutsu.
Me sitting from a seat where like I don't really play fighting games. The only reason I'd be interested in it is because of the characters.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just want to go in and try to kick someone's ass with like and do like a special and just see the sparks fly and shit, you know? But then you're gonna have the people who are fucking gods. Those are the people you want to watch, but yeah. So this is literally so I can see why people are overall I thought the Microsoft shit was good.
Yep.
It's gonna, but we're everything we're gonna see at Sony is expected. New Last of Us, Days Gone, more gameplay. Final Fantasy VII, more gameplay. Spider-Man, more gameplay. Death Stranding is the only one we haven't seen yet. So all of those are to be expected. But like, so I understand why people think the Microsoft one sucked if you look at the game lineup. But I mean,
just because they use a lot of other companies.
yeah,
shit.
exactly. Oh, they got to show the games first. That's why their conference is good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know though. Sony will obviously have new stuff. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
I think those people were looking at a standpoint of like it being a competition, which it kind of is a competition between Sony and Microsoft. But
I think it is like a big EP and stretcher.
it doesn't make it bad. It just makes it potentially not as good.
So, dude, Session isn't exclusive. Someone, PlayStation France, like, said Session's coming, and you can play the demo for Session on PC.
And how is it an exclusive?
It's not. That guy was wrong.
Well, it says it on the site as an exclusive.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
You can literally play the demo on PC right now. It is exclusive? Then why the fuck did PlayStation tweet out Session then? And you can play the demo on PC.
It could have just been mistagged.
The exclusive, like, tag is bullshit around this time because people just say exclusive, these companies, making it seem like you can only play it on PlayStation, you can only play it on Xbox when it's not even true.
Exclusive for Microsoft means something different than exclusive for Sony. It confuses a lot of shit.
Yeah. Unless it's like a timed exclusive. But yeah, you guys, you can't trust that. That's why you look at this shit. Like, Gears of War is an exclusive. It's going to be on PC too, but this would be... Gears of War is like if you could play Spider-Man for Sony on only PlayStation / you could play it on a computer type thing.
All right. I think the real question here, Lyric, is are you going to play Gears Pop?
Dude, that game is the one I am mostly fucking hyped for.
World
You
premiere.
know, there is at least one person in chat right now that is.
Who's fucking hyped for this shit as soon as they announced it?
Yeah. They're gonna like, fuck yeah, dude, another game I can play on the way to work.
I know, right?
While I'm sitting in the train going downtown. For 10
I was Well, shit. Yeah, when is Bethesda? At 9:30? Chat, what time is Bethesda? Bethesda E3. My duty. Oh, 9:30. That's in like 2 hours.
There's a timer at the top of the recap site.
Oh shit.
2 hours.
Spoiler by Hyper was the name of the Cyberpunk 2077 song. Oh, okay. Yo, Meadow and Brooks, thank you guys for the primes.
I'm looking forward to it. Seeing that trailer just got me hyped for Cyberpunk.
I know, man.
I mean, the trailer before that was exciting and stuff like that, but like it gave me no information on what the fuck kind of game it was. So like I couldn't let myself get hyped for it. But seeing that trailer from E3, I'm now hyped for Cyberpunk.
I know, me too. I thought that looked fucking badass as fuck. So it's gonna be really. I love that setting. Fuck yeah, man. Are we watching Bethesda? I'm thinking of saying whatever. I mean,
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna fucking.
I'm thinking of just chilling. I don't know what else to do. 2 hours? I mean, I kind of want to just relax now, personally. But
Oh shit, yeah, it is actually hella late for you, right?
I mean, not really. I mean, it's 7:30, but like, you know, like
You wanna
I
go to
like
sleep like an old person
streaming.
tonight?
I like streaming, but sometimes it's like you want to like get up and just fucking chill for a couple of hours. You know?
You know what I noticed?
What?
Sometimes if you had a good 6 hours, you just want to end it there.
Yeah,
Because
true,
the
and
potential
just
of
call
going
it
for,
a
like, another
day.
4, right? I mean, like the next like 4 hours afterwards could suck, and that will completely ruin everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But, you know. Chat, I'm thinking I'm gonna be. Hold up,
Are
sorry.
you going to bed like an old person tonight at 10 o'clock?
No, I've been going to sleep at like 2 a.m. lately. 1 a.m.
Aren't you
Actually,
flying
today.
tomorrow?
Oh shit, I do need to go. No, I'll probably sleep at like midnight. I actually have to pack. Oh fuck, yeah, I do need to pack.
You gotta do laundry. You gotta fucking.
Yeah, I gotta do that. I'm
Drop
probably
your
just gonna
cats
chill and not
off.
watch Bethesda with you guys. I'll watch it, but I won't watch it with you guys. Yeah, Shorty, I'm gonna call it here though, baby girl. All right.
Okay.
And
Go run well.
we will see you, and I will see you another time. And yeah.
All right, bye, Lyric.
All
Have a
right,
good one,
man.
dude. Enjoy
Peace
your
out,
stream,
dude.
man.
Yeah, I'll try my best. All right, man. Peace out, dude. Bye bye. Chat. Okay, I'm gonna watch Bethesda on my own time because I gotta pack for E3 and stuff. And I'm not like super stoked about Bethesda. Let's be honest. It's probably gonna be a bunch of Fallout 76, maybe some Doom shit like a DLC. These are my predictions, and nothing on an Elder Scroll unless they decide to tease an Elder Scroll at the end. I could see that being a thing. Other than that, I don't see anything crazy happening with Bethesda. Maybe I'm wrong. Starfield? Maybe. Rage 2 as well. Rage 2 might be pretty solid to look at. Hey, dude, I just went ahead and made a mock-up of the sub animation we were discussing today. You could have messaged, but let me know. Okay, man, I will. I got a pack because I'm going to E3 tomorrow. But I was thinking, because instead of missing all these conferences, maybe I could go back to my hotel room if the Wi-Fi is good or the internet's good, and I go live on my laptop and we watch the conferences Monday, Tuesday. I was thinking about that. What does anyone have the E3 schedule? But it depends, because obviously I'm doing that shit at E3, so if it doesn't conflict, I don't think it will. E3 conference dates. Okay. Bethesda Sunday. Monday is Square Enix at 1 p.m. So I can watch this if I'm not doing... Actually, I think that's when the tournament is. So rip. Can't watch that. Ubisoft's at 4. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. I think Monday is like... We'll see, guys. I'll tweet about it. I'll bring my laptop if I'm like, okay, I got like 3 hours and there's a conference. I'll load up my laptop and just go live on my channel. And we can watch that shit together for like an hour. And then I'm going to leave. And then an hour. And then leave. Type shit. So maybe we'll see. Worst case, guys, you aren't gonna see me for a while because I am physically going to E3. So worst case, like the next legit stream will be Friday of this coming week, or maybe Thursday. If I get done with the dentist fast, it will be Friday. So yeah, you guys are probably gonna forget about me. Channel's probably gonna die. I understand, though. I get it. Chat, I'm going to call it here, though. I got to pack. I got to do laundry and shit. And then I'll just tweet watch the fucking Bethesda shit at 9:30. So, chat, you guys are beautiful. Follow the channel. Follow Twitter. I will see you guys on and off. The Fortnite tournament is going to be streamed on Monday. So, you guys will at least see me on Monday streaming on my channel. But yeah, it's a weird week. I fucking regret doing this shit, but I mean, what are you gonna do, boys? What are you gonna do? Everyone who subbed, donated, and tipped today, thank you very much. Yo, if you bought something on
441, thanks for Twitch Prime, thanks for subbing.
What's your magic? Is it taking your worries and reassigning them to oblivion? Is it being the totally coolest dad ever? For the day anyway. It could be nothing to do and all day to do it. Maybe it's family time coming down before everyone grows up. Or is it feeling relaxed, renewed, and rejuvenated for the first time in forever?